Good afternoon from Dubrovnik. This is Mr. Varel Freeman with EBRD. I'm Sita Santi with the Public Affairs section at the U.S. Embassy. We received a couple of questions from AmCham in Zagreb and Zashem that we'd like to pose to Mr. Freeman. One question that came in for you is a question about investor protection. What can investors in Croatia do for themselves to encourage protection?
The most important thing is to be quite strict in following the law. Do things right, don't expose yourself to corruption, and you will be generally protected. I think also having good partners. EBRD is such a partner where we uphold standards, we have access to government, and when companies are subject of harassment or of difficulties, we don't hesitate to stand up and speak very directly at the highest levels of government. But it begins at home. Do the right thing, and there are ways to work around the corruption.
As you've mentioned the government's role, the question came in from AmCham, which is, what do you think of the government of Croatia's catalog of national investment projects? Does it reflect the various sectors that are ripe for investment here? Do you think some changes need to be made?
Well, this is quite a large catalog of ideas, and many of which are quite obviously necessary and probably meritorious. We haven't examined them in depth, so I cannot say that the rates of return and the feasibility is there. But when you talk about the list of projects that was mentioned this morning, on the surface they sound very good.
And the last question that came in from Zashem was in response to a comment of yours, which is of the image of the Balkans as an investment region, that the image is not exactly favorable. How do you see that changing in the long term? What would actually need to take place for that to change?
What needs to change is people need to see success. They need to see the region as one in which you can have good business, profitable business, and business that grows to world scale. There are such businesses. Pliva, which won an award today, is a great example of a business that attracted international investor interest in a very competitive sale process a couple of years ago. But it's not exactly a household name outside of the region. As I said, investors sometimes are a bit apathetic. They don't take a lot of time to seek out opportunities in the unexpected places. They respond to headlines and to what I would call the common wisdom as opposed to the uncommon wisdom. So you need to get on the map.
Well, speaking of getting on the map, final question from Zashem as an unexpected place. What about clean coal technology? Is there any scope for growth in that sector here in Croatia specifically, or perhaps broader?
Well, we would hope so. To date, clean coal is not exactly a well-defined, bankable proposition. It's an idea, but it's a very meritorious idea, and it's an important one because Croatia does have coal deposits. It does have an ability to mine and to export good quality coal. But in general, coal is getting a bad reputation as a major contributor of CO2. And of course, with everyone, including EBRD, concerned about carbon footprints, it's important to develop these technologies in a manner that can be demonstrated at a production scale as opposed to a pilot technology scale, so as to give people such as ourselves confidence to finance those investments. But clearly, if someone comes up with great clean coal technology, it will be rapidly embraced in the world as the alternatives are not, should we say, less and less attractive every day.
Thank you so very much for your candor and your answers to the questions.
My pleasure. Thank you.